Alright, so hello gamers and welcome back to another video recorded live. Make sure to catch me on this channel. I stream live some of these videos, and today we're going to be ranking every single assault rifle, ranking these on a scale of 1 to 5. Let's get into it. So first off, we have the AK-12. This is a 4 to 5 hit kill assault rifle, 700 RPM. It has a 1000 RPM hyper burst, but let's be real, you can hit 99s in 3. It doesn't really have great damage over range. The recoil is good, I guess. If you have a good setup, it's pretty good. I'd say overall, this is like a 3 out of 5 assault rifle on auto, and maybe a 4 out of 5 on the burst, because I do think the burst can be pretty good. But next up, we have the AN-94. Now, the AN-94 is a weird one. It has a 1,800 2-shot burst at the beginning and then goes to auto directly afterwards, so don't put on a burst. There's no reason to do that. So if you hit the first 2 shots, it can be kind of good in terms of time to kill. Other than that, though, it's a 4 to 5 hit assault rifle with 600 RPM. It does have a 7.62 conversion, which is pretty good. Overall, I give it a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's super meta right now, but it is very good. The recoil is non-existent, so if you just, don't have an AUG yet, yeah, you can totally run this. Next up, AS-VAL. The AS-VAL is not as good as it used to be, but man, is it still so good. I don't know if it's a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. I think it's not like extremely meta right now, but it has really low recoil. You don't really need any attachments on this gun, because with the integrally suppressed guns, since you basically just can't have a barrel attachment on them at all, they have to have good recoil from the get-go. So if you have a vertical grip on this, any grip, even no grip, it doesn't matter. I would give it a 4 out of 5, but it's not insanely meta right now. Next up, we have the SCAR-L. Now, the SCAR-L, I do have a 135 kill game with this gun. It used to be better though, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at least with the 9mm conversion. And overall, I actually think it might not be super top tier, and that's because there's a slightly higher rank gun that's basically this but better in every way. It doesn't have a 4-hit kill limo ranges, which this does have, which is very, very nice, but this is not a 3-hit kill up close. It still doesn't matter, it's still an amazing gun, but yeah, it doesn't have that 3-hit kill. That would have been a kill there if this was a 3-hit kill assault rifle. I'm still gonna give it a 5 out of 5, but I do think there is a slightly better gun, and the reason I'm giving this 5 out of 5 is because of 9mm conversion. I think both of these conversions are amazing, and the fact that you can have both in the same gun is very nice. This is a very good close range map conversion. It has a 3-hit kill, a 6-hit kill at range, which isn't as good as it was before because it used to be a 5 over range, but it's still an amazing gun. Definitely a top tier assault rifle. However, there is just a current assault rifle that a lot of people don't think about that I think is just better than this. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still a 5 out of 5. That's how good that one is. Next up, AUG-1. Now, this could kind of be considered a not direct upgrade to the SCAR-L with default ammo, but sort of. And this is not the assault rifle I was talking about, but yeah, this one's a 5 out of 5 as well. It has really high damage, it fires pretty quickly, and the recoil is non-existent, and it has just amazing bullet velocity as well. You can basically get 100 kill game pace on every map with the AUG-1. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. It's just so good. It just has the recoil and hits the kill to really kill anything at any range. M16A4. Now, the M16A4, I'm not super accustomed to the new one, but yeah, it's a 5 out of 5 gun right now. The Grendel conversion is the way to run this, but I don't really know how to run it just yet. However, with default ammo, I was using this on my ult account that I'm streaming live rank 0 to 100 with. It is very, very good. And by the way, that rank 0 to 100 series is only going to be streamed live. It won't be uploaded. So please subscribe and catch me there. But yeah, if you can't use a burst weapon, don't talk, okay? This is the best burst weapon. But if you can't use a burst weapon, it's not going to be for you. So yeah, it's a 5 out of 5 for the people that can actually use it correctly. It is an amazing gun. It can fire nearly full auto if you know the clicks per second. It also has a very low recoil. The stats overall are just amazing. Yeah, Grendel conversion is the way to go. It does increase the damage by quite a bit, but I just don't know how to use it really because it has weird recoil to it. I haven't gotten accustomed to it just yet because I haven't really been getting back into the M16A4. I used to use it a ton, and I stopped using it for a while. It is just an amazing gun now, though. It got a crazy buff. It's not the best assault rifle overall, but it is definitely going for the top spot. G36. Now, the G36 used to be one of the best assault rifles in the game. Right now, I wouldn't say it's top tier, but it's still very, very good. 750 RPM, which is nice. But if you kind of think about it, the AUG-2 is better in literally every way. This has a better 4-hit kill range, but they're both a 5-hit kill over long range, and the AUG-2 has no recoil and a 3-hit, and this is a 4 to a 5. They have the same fire rate now. It's a little bit weird. I mean, the AUG-2 is just so broken, so I give this one a 3 out of 5 because it does have a little bit of stuff to it, but I'm ranking these kind of off of what the other guns can do, and it's still not that great. Next, we have the M16A1. Now, before this was a 5 out of 5, but now it has a ramp up, so it has 750 RPM at the start, it goes up to 950, but it doesn't do that too quickly. Unless you have the muzzle booster, but the recoil in this gun is not like the Scar Hammer. You can't run this with the muzzle booster and expect to hit every shot. However, it's still pretty good. I would just probably only give it maybe a 3 out of 5. I don't know. It's not as good. I do like it a lot. I think the ramp up is actually more fun, but before, this gun was incredible. It's still very good. The problem is the time to kill is not that great if you're hitting only the first 4 shots. Sure, after that it has 950, but yeah, 750 starting is not the best time to kill considering it's a 4-hit kill and you only get 20 rounds, and it's kind of balanced around the fact that it could kill super fast, but now it can't kill as fast as quickly. It's still very good, though. I do like it quite a bit. I actually kind of like it more, but it's not as good as it used to be. Next up, the M16A3. Now, the M16A3 is actually in its maybe worst state ever. And that's not because it's bad, it's just because the AUGs are so good. Also, Grendel is not the way to go on this. They're about to change the recoil on this. It's not really going to affect it too much, but M16A3 has always been a solid gun, but there's just better solid guns, you know? It has overall great stats, but so does an AUG, and the AUGs are just so meta right now that I can't give this one any higher than a 4. It's still a 4 because it does have 800 RPM, which is nice. So it has a little bit of extra stuff to it. Fast reload for sure, especially with sharps, which does give it a little bit of a slightly like advantageous spot in a couple of cases as opposed to an AUG. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's any better than an AUG. It is a little bit worse, but that does not mean it's anywhere near bad. It's a very good assault rifle. It's just like the 5 out of 5s are going to be reserved for those 4-hitting or just incredible assault rifles, and this is not one of them. But there we have the Type 20. Now this is the 5 out of 5. This is an amazing gun. The Type 20 is basically the gun that's literally good in every way. There's basically no downside other than a little bit of fire rate to it. Like, you could maybe go for higher fire rate, but it's 650, which is nowhere near bad. And I'll just show you the stats in a second because, wait, is this a barrel going through a wall? Is that... what? I don't know, dude. Anyway, let's look at the stats, okay? Minimum time to kill of under 0.1 seconds because it can 2-hit kill headshot up close. 2,600 velocity, very good. Higher than average pen, higher than average suppression. Very, very low recoil, fast reload, 650 RPM. It can 3-hit kill to the torso to, I believe, like 75 studs. And it can 2-hit kill headshot, which... yeah, it's got the same fire rate as the Scar. It had more than the Scar L before, but has basically the same recoil, but higher velocity, way better damage, and it can still 4-hit kill all ranges if you're hitting some torso shots. However, it can't 4-hit kill limb. That's why the Scar L does have a little bit of an advantage over it, but is it much? No, it's not a lot, but it does give the Scar L also a 5 out of 5, but barely. You know, the Scar L is not as good as this gun is. If you want basically just the best assault rifle in every aspect, the Type 20 is the best one. However, there are aspects that some people prefer, which would be like faster body shot time to kill, which is going to be what the AUGs are for, because yeah, there's some really good AUGs right now. Okay, there we go, the 5 out of 5 gun. This is essentially the best gun in the game right now. It has a 7.62 conversion that has a really far 3-hit kill, I think a 4-hit kill torso all ranges, and a really far 2-hit kill as well. This gun is extremely meta right now. And the default ammo, 750 RPM, 3 to a 5-hit kill, very high velocity, very fast reload time, and no recoil. There's literally no reason to not use this right now. Type 20 is a little bit better overall, but this has the faster time to kill as well as everything else it has. Yeah, 7.62, as I said, it has 37 with a slight torso multi that allows it to 4-hit kill all ranges. The recoil's kind of mid on that, but it does make up for it with its damage. Next up, we have the K2. Now, the K2 is so mid right now. I'm sorry. The K2 used to be one of the best assault rifles in the game. They've nerfed it plenty of times, and now it's in a weird spot. The sight mount, first off, it looks terrible. The recoil is not really it anymore, and it can also 4-hit kill up close if you're not hitting torso shots. It's a 5-hit kill at long range. The fire rate is pretty good, but it's not like AS Val fire rate or something like that, and it's just not that good. You can definitely go crazy with it. It's not a bad assault rifle, but I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5 because it really doesn't have anything too special to it. You can use it. The fire rate is interesting, 770. I think that's the only gun in the game with that exact fire rate. Next up, we have the FAMAS. The FAMAS got the Romanian grip back, and it made the recoil very, very good. I think it also got a faster reload, but maybe it just had that reload before. I forgot. When they nerfed it, I think they made the reload faster, which is nice. The damage is not what it used to be on this gun. It's now a 4 to 5 hit. You can run the hollow point ammo type and get a 3-hit again, but then you'll have really bad damage over range. And honestly, it's not the best in terms of overall use, but I think for the fire rate and the fact that it's kind of just like an SMG with a little bit more range, I give it a 4 out of 5. It's not super meta, but it does have FAMAS G2. Some people like the FAMAS G2. I personally don't really run it. It'll give you a 4 to a 6 hit kill, but it will give you a little bit more ammo and a lot faster rate of fire from 900 to 1100, which is cool. The recoil is not quite it anymore. I do like the default FAMAS a little bit better, but it's really personal preference. I think that this gun, it can put out some good damage. The velocity is very good, and other than that, it's basically an SMG with like good velocity. Not as great handling though, so I don't know. It's really up to you if you'd rather have like a more meta SMG or run this as an SMG. Also, the reload on the FAMAS G2 is not quite that great. It's 2.5, but default ammo is 2.3, which is just, it feels that much faster. I don't know, like those 0.2 seconds with every reload, and you will be reloading this gun after every kill, let's be real. That saves you a lot of time. I don't know. I prefer default ammo, but it's really up to personal preference. AK-47. Now, the AK-47, it does have Romanian grip on it, but is it really the best? I don't know. I feel like the AKM kind of does it better. We'll talk about the AKM in a little bit. This gun used to have torso multi, did 42. It could 2-hit kill limb with hollow points. Now I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. It's not super meta, but it is still very good. The damage is obviously very high, but the recoil, even though it's not super inaccurate, it's just like a lot of camera recoil, and it can make lining up shots very annoying. A lot of vertical rotational recoil, which is why Romanian grip is so good on it. But yeah, it's not the best AK, but it is pretty good. Next up is the AUG A3. AUG A3 is basically the AUG A2 with a little bit less fire rate, but better recoil. That's kind of it. It also does a 3 to a 5 hit, but I don't think it really does it as far. No, it doesn't do it quite as far. It's still pretty far. It's like 42 studs instead of like 55 studs. But yeah, I do feel like the AUG A2 is a little bit better, but I feel like the AUG A3 almost kind of is easier to use because the recoil is a little bit lower. That's why I put it in my easy to use guns. AUG A3 is just, it's in a weird spot where like the AUG A2 kind of got everything the AUG A3 has. I think it has a little bit better 5-hit kill range. Yeah, it does a little bit more damage over range, but it shouldn't really affect your hits to kill too much. They're obviously both like insane guns. They're both like easily the best 2 assault rifles probably. Because of that, like it's still a 5 out of 5, but does it have anything over the AUG A2? Because I don't want to give it a 5 out of 5 if you may as well just use the AUG A2. I do feel like the little bit less recoil and the fact that it does have a little bit more damage over range, which makes headshotting over range a little bit more effective in terms of damage. I do think they're both 5 out of 5. Next up, you have the L85A2. Now, the L85 used to be literally the best assault rifle in the game because it was a 4-4. Personally, I don't think it's as good because it's a 4 to a 5. Yeah, if you hit a headshot, it can be a 4 to a 4. But the Type 20 just has like 50 less RPM, but better pen, better recoil, better damage. Yeah, I give this one a 3 out of 5. It does have a little bit more fire rate, and it's a very far 4-hit kill. It used to be like the best assault rifle in the game. You can still go pretty crazy with it. It's not bad. Is it going to be the #1 assault rifle in the game? Not even close. But it is a 3 out of 5 because it does have a little bit of something to it. And yeah, it's nowhere near a bad assault rifle. Just, it's not going to be my first pick or even like top 5 at all. Why are you stomping around like that, man? You are so loud. There we go. Next up, HK416. The HK416... it's not bad. It does have 850 RPM. It's a 4 to a 5, but it used to do a lot more damage and have a lot better range, and it's fine. I do like the reload animation. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. It's nothing like, it's not gonna like hurt to use or anything, but it is not what it used to be. I feel like the recoil is too high for the fact that, yeah, it has 850 RPM, but that's not that much more than the other assault rifles, and the damage is just not even there anymore. So 22 at range instead of 24 is kind of annoying, but it's still a very good gun. Now, AK-74. This is for real, probably a 1 out of 5. Now, listen to me. This gun on its own, if you just took it on its own, it would be maybe probably a 4 out of 5, but literally in every way, this is a worse gun to the Type 20. It has the same fire rate, but it can't 2-hit kill head. It doesn't really 3-hit kill as far. It doesn't 4-hit kill at long range. The recoil is, it's very good, but like, let's be real, so is the Type 20. So yeah, there's really nothing here. It has lower velocity and pen too. There's no advanced stats that really make it better. I feel like the AK-74 doesn't need a buff. They just need to nerf the Type 20 somehow, because this gun is still amazing, but it's really nothing. Like, there's really nothing here. Like, some of the other guns you can make an argument. This one, there's very little argument. It's not like this can 3-hit kill limb, whereas the Type 20 can't. The Type 20 can also 3-hit kill limb. It doesn't do like 33 with the torso multi, so there's really no point to run this gun. It's also like double the rank of the Type 20. It's a very good gun, but like I said, I feel like it needs a rebalance somehow, or they just need to nerf the Type 20. I'm not gonna lie. Otherwise, this gun would be a 4 out of 5, but the Type 20 just literally steals the show in every way, and it's very sad because I do like the gun. I do have like 700 kills on it, but yeah, it's not it anymore. Next up, AKM. Now, the AKM has really come back into the meta quite a bit because they kind of nerfed the AK-47 damage a lot. They removed the torso multi on it, so the damage between the two is pretty similar. And this is basically just an AK-47, but you can see what you're aiming at. It has a little bit less damage. It's 41 to 30 on the AK-47, but it's 39 to 28. The problem is there's no torso multi there, so the 31 doesn't really matter that much. And it does 41 up close, so it doesn't matter if you run like hollow point. It can't 2-hit kill with hollow point. So there's really no point damage-wise to run the AK-47. The AKM is just the AK-47, but you can like actually see when you're shooting people, which is a nice feature for sure. And I do feel like that kind of just makes this a really good gun. Is it a 5 out of 5? Honestly, I feel like it could be a 5 out of 5 because, yeah, it's not going to be quite as good as something like the AUG A2 in terms of like overall effectiveness, but it does bring something to the table that the AUGs don't really bring, which is very high damage. It is a 4-hit kill to the limbs at all ranges, and it has a very, very far 3-hit kill as well. It's not quite as good as them, but it's still going to be a 5 out of 5 simply because it can perform very well, and it does something a little bit different, which I do like. I'm trying to rank these off of like what they do and then how good they do it, and this does what it's supposed to do very well. AK-103 now. Now the AK-103, I really want to rank this high, but the issue right now is that the AK-107 is going to be the good one. So basically, the default AK-103, it's essentially just a lower damage version of the AKM. It's 37 to 25 instead of 39 to 28, and the recoil isn't really that different. So I don't really recommend you ever really run the default AK-103. However, Bars Barrel is really fun. It's a 3 to 5 hit, but almost a 3 to 4. It used to be a 4 to 4, which is very nice, but the biggest problem with it right now is simply going to be the fact that the AK-107, which is a different category, but it has basically the same stats but better, that exists. And yeah, this doesn't have the same recoil, essentially. I do like the 3-hit kill up close at 850 RPM, which kind of just makes it like HK416 upgrade in a way. I think the recoil on it can be very good. It's just not up there with the AK-107. So I would give this one probably a 4 out of 5. It's still very good, but it just doesn't quite beat out the AK-107. However, it does have a little bit of stuff to it, which is much higher damage than the AK-107. But the AK-107, yeah, I'll talk about it in my, I think it's a carbine? Yeah, I think it's a carbine. And when I'll talk about that one, you'll see why. Next up, TAR-21. It does have cool multis, and it kind of is up there with the HK416, a little bit better even, and the pen is pretty cool, but I just don't know where you'd really rank this. If you're going to go for a top assault rifle, this is not going to be it. However, I do feel like the multis and the pen and all that kind of stuff, and the way that, yeah, you can totally run it and do really well with it, I would probably put this above the AK or HK416. So I'd give this one a 4 out of 5. I wouldn't give it like anywhere near top 5 assault rifles or anything like that. It is kind of on the lower end of 4 out of 5. So duplex ammo, somebody mentioned this in the chat. This used to be a heck of a lot better. They nerfed it kind of hard, but it's still pretty good. Like, you can get the 3-hit kill body. The spread with the CTAR barrel is not that good. They kind of nerfed the spread quite a bit, as you can see. Like, you're not going to hit every pellet past like 50 studs away, which kind of kills it a little bit, but it is still very good. The reload time is very fast. Next up, we have Type 88. Now, the default ammo is really bad, of course. It's fine, I guess. Like, it is very accurate, but there are more accurate guns. It's the AUGs. The AUGs are gonna just be better and have more damage anyway. However, 7.62 on the Type 88, aka Type 58. This used to be the best assault rifle in the entire game, but it's not that way necessarily anymore, but they did bring it quite a bit back. It does 41 to 27 with 650 RPM. It is a little bit weird with the recoil. Not gonna lie, the recoil feels a little bit weird, but Romanian grip basically makes it very accurate. I would probably give this one a 5 out of 5. Do I think it's the best assault rifle? It's up there. It is definitely up there. I've never been a big fan of Type 58, but I do think it's very good. Next up, M231. This is one of the guns in the game. It used to be like the best assault rifle. Well, not necessarily the best assault rifle, the best SMG that's in the assault rifle category, I guess. I would give this one, ooh, would I still give a 5? I don't know, dude. It can still be very good, but it is a 4 to a 5. Honestly, yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. It's not the best assault rifle in the game, obviously, because it's not really even an assault rifle. But for what it can do, it does it very well. The recoil is very high, but very manageable, especially with the OEG. I don't know why this never caught on with the OSG or OEG. It's very good with that. Next up is the C7A2. Now the C7, man, the C7 is not as good as it used to be, simply because of power creep. It's basically the same gun it was before. It's still very good, but the AUG buffs are just so big that honestly, I feel like the AUGs are better. It's still the C7A2 though, so it's still going to be a 5 out of 5. It does have Grendel conversion, and I think I have like the weird LMG barrel, which apparently a lot of people say that this is like one of the best assault rifles as well. I think it's very good. 3-hit kill range is very far. This is way too loud. They need to lower the sound for this barrel, but overall, yeah, this is a very good gun as well. It's still a 5 out of 5. Is it better than the AUGs? Probably not for everybody, but for some people, it seems so. Yeah. Next up, STG 44. Now, default ammo on the STG, it does have a little bit of a 2-hit kill to the torso, but yeah, most people are going to be running 5.56. I think the default ammo is like a 3 out of 5, and this one is kind of like a pseudo LMG. It is kind of like the old version of the Colt LMG, sort of. It is very good. 3-hit kill to the body, 2-hit kill to the head, 60 rounds. Not the best in terms of fire rate, but I do feel like for what it can do, it's pretty good. It's probably not up there in terms of assault rifles. I don't see a lot of people running it, but I probably give it overall a 3 out of 5. I feel like the conversion is really good on it, but it's not really, unless you really want 60 rounds, it's not going to be the best for everybody. I think overall it's a pretty good gun. I don't know. It's all right. Okay, G11. G11 is a very good gun. A G11 is a very, very good gun. However, the M16A4 buff is ridiculous. The M16A4 buff almost makes the G11 not as good. I'm not gonna lie, but they did buff the velocity on the G11. It can one burst to the torso up to 90 studs, and if you hit the head, it can one burst all ranges. And also, because the recoil happens after the burst is over, that's 3 bullets. Like, you can see if I actually move my cursor, there are 3 bullets there. However, they land all in the same spot if you don't move or you don't move your cursor. So yeah, the M16A4 is kind of a little bit better just because it can 3-hit kill to the limbs instead of just to the torso, but at long range the G11 will be better. But the M16A4 recoil is really good right now, so it can actually kind of work at long range, just not quite as well. I do think this is still a 5 out of 5, but overall I would definitely recommend the M16A4 over this. But yeah, it's still a 5 out of 5 because honestly you can make an argument for this being better than the M16A4. It has a lot of aspects that are very good. It's basically just like perfectly good to kill anybody at any range, which is very nice for an assault rifle. You can run it close range and do just fine, and you can run it very long range and still do just fine. Anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. I'll do battle rifles next for the next video. Subscribe. Yeah, see you guys.